It's very early. Sun is just coming up, and it looks like it's going to be a beautiful day. This is V from a Canadian RVer, eh? What we're doing in this video today is we're taking a trip right down to the farthest point of Highway 1 and the farthest most southern point in the United States. 90 miles from Cuba, we're going to Key West. And as we're going down the highway, we'll see if we can tie in on some fun facts. While we're going down the highway going south on Highway 1, off to the left you can see the old train tracks that the train used to run from New York to Key West. So the year is 1900, began the modernization of Key West when the mule-drawn streetcars were replaced with electric streetcars called trolleys. After years of construction to connect 43 islands to bridges to Key West, the train arrived on January the 22nd of 1912. Once again, Key West was a national spotlight. A person could ride from the east coast of Florida Railway starting from New York to Key West. So now we're just in the northern part of Key West, going south again, and on the right-hand side is the Gulf of Mexico. So let's keep watching. President Harry Truman began visiting Key West in November of 1946, seeking relief for a persistent cough. Some working vacations were only a week long, others were a month, but Key West became the vacation venue of choice at the Naval Commander's House, which became the functioning White House. Harry Truman visited for 11 times, totaling 175 days working in the little White House. So now what I'm doing is now just starting to walk down to Mallory Square. Let's keep watching. So historic Mallory Square is a great place to see sunset. Sunset Celebration is a nightly arts festival at Mallory Square Docks in Key West. There's all kinds of street performers, food carts, and many other activities that happen here every night. Now what we're looking at right there was all the sunken ships in the past, and there was a small map to see where they were all found. Let's keep watching. Right here is one of the piers that if a cruise ship was in town at that time, it would be tied up right here. Now while we're walking along the pier here, this was quite early in the morning, as one person said to me about Key West doesn't come to be awakened until about noon, so you can see that there wasn't a lot of people here, but this was a great time to do videos as there wasn't so congestion down there. Again, another point where a cruise ship would tie into. But coming around the corner here, if you like to look at big luxury yachts, there was one moored in the harbor here which caught my attention, and I took a good bit of video on that. So let's keep watching. And right there, I was just looking up and I could see a commuter jet coming in to land at the international airport here at Key West. So this was a Majesty 140 footer, a very beautiful yacht that was moored here. So now what I've started to do is I am on the train which goes around the old part of Key West, and we're now just on tour and we're just going by the little White House again, and let's keep watching. Here was a tree that was really nice, and how it grew to be so big. Some beautiful old churches. The Naval Air Station here at Key West, and all their buildings. And of course, coming up to the very famous southernmost point in the United States. Of course, here everyone was lined up to get their pictures taken. And at this point, we are 90 miles north of Cuba. Farthest most southern point in the United States. Again, still continuing on with the tour. A great place to rent a bike, scooter. An old fire hall as a museum here, one of the first fire halls that was established here in Key West. What we're looking right now is at Casa Marina Resort and Beach House. Although he did not live to see it, the Casa Marina was completed in 1920 to fulfill Henry Flager's vision of providing luxury resorts through the east coast of Florida to accommodate his East Coast Railway guests. And now around this corner, what we're starting to look at is the Atlantic Ocean. So this is the beaches that are on Key West, but on the Atlantic side. Continuing on with the tour, you could see that it was quite early in the morning here, so there wasn't a lot of traffic. But if you're going to come and see Key West, the best time to come is before noon and get yourself a parking spot. Right now, let's start listening into some of the commentary from the tour.
The original cemetery was down by the southernmost point, but it was destroyed in the hurricane of 1846. So the city fathers thought it would be prudent to put the new cemetery further inland, and they put it right here in the dead center of town. As you can see, most graves are above ground. Old Town is basically a coral rock. Many of the epitaphs in the cemetery mark Key Westers' odd sense of humor. There's one epitaph for a Betty P. Roberts. She was a hypochondriac, and she has written on her gravestone, "See, I told you I was sick." And now, ladies and gentlemen, we're entering one of the nicest neighborhoods in Old Town. Almost all the houses in Old Town were built in the 1800s by ship's carpenters. The ship's carpenters were master craftsmen. They built their houses the same way they did their ships. Snug and trim. They used mortise and tenon joints for the nails so that the house would give its sway in a high wind. The ship's carpenters added what we call gingerbread from the homes they built in the 1800s. On the left, it's a light green house with arrowhead gingerbread along the roof line. Very next house on the left is a
So this building that we're looking at right now, this veranda that hangs out this porch, was carved, I believe, from one solid piece of wood. So where we are right now is driving down Duval Street, and as one person said to me, when there's a cruise ship in here, all you're doing is the Duval crawl with so many people coming off the cruise ships. But this morning there was not a cruise ship in, and you could see it was quite early and there wasn't a lot of people, but still Key West was starting to wake up. So now what we have on the left is Sloppy Joe's Bar, a very famous bar here at Key West with artifacts from the Hemingway house. What we're looking at here right now is Key West Historical Memorial Sculpture Garden. Was dedicated to the men and women who made Key West an important outpost of the American culture and folklore. So now what we're doing is we're back in our car and now going up Highway 1, starting to head home. So we've already left Key West. We're back on Highway 1 North, and on the right hand side, again, the old train tracks that used to travel from New York to Key West. Again, the beauty of this area is all the bridges that connect all the islands and the keys. Very beautiful day to travel, not very cloudy. So this is V from a Canadian RVer. Hope you've enjoyed the video. Please give us a thumbs up. Please comment. Please subscribe. And we will see you in our next video. Thanks for watching.